Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well and enjoying this beautiful Friday. I wanted to come on here today and record a special video for you guys about the upcoming summer solstice. I can't believe it's already time for the summer solstice. I have no idea where this year went. It's like time is going at warp speed. It's insane. But this is going to just be a overall energy update. I'm first going to go into the energies that I've been experiencing lately and kind of what, the downloads I've been getting and receiving and feeling here on my end. And then I will pull some cards to see, what else comes out as far as what we need to know about this time frame. And just to give you guys some perspective, I'm really kind of looking back to spring equinox and the changes and all of the energies and the transitions and the things that have been happening since that time. Also, it's my intention. We'll see if sometimes I get to rambling and get off on tangents and get distracted. But my intention as of now is to also pull some cards to just get some career guidance and some romance guidance, just to kind of see for the summer season what is going on in the collective. So again, this is obviously a general reading, so take what resonates, toss the rest. I do offer personal readings if that's something that you're interested in. That information can be found on my website, which is down below. I will list all of the decks that I use. I'll be using some of my own and some obviously from other creators and readers, and so there will be links down there as well. But if you're not clear on any of the decks that I'm using or which one is which, feel free to reach out or comment below and ask any questions about that. I am going to timestamp when the actual reading itself starts, as far as when I actually shuffle cards, if you want to skip to that. However, like I said, I'm going to be doing some of my own channeling and give you guys some of the messages and the things that came through today and that have been coming in very strongly for me this week. So hopefully this resonates for you guys. But if I didn't already say it, summer solstice is June 21st. So only, 11 days away at this point. Halfway through the year, it's going to be the longest day of the year. It's just a really powerful time. Anytime we have the change of seasons, it ushers in new energy, new beginnings. But I feel like really for me, the summer and the winter are definitely the most powerful and the most potent because, obviously we have June, July, and August all the way to mid-September before the fall equinox. And the summer solstice includes 7/7, which is a very, very powerful portal. And then obviously 8/8 Lionsgate is crazy. And then you also have 9/9 right before, which nines, often symbolize the closure of chapters and whatnot. So should be just a very, I feel like it's always, this whole year has been a powerful portal. I feel like 6/6 was just, whoa, crazy. Just so many shifts that have been happening. But summer, I think it's just the nature of the energy, especially over here on this side of the world, where we have the heat, the fire, with Leo season coming in July, the Lionsgate, and all of those things. So it's just a really powerful time. All right, so the energy. I've got some notes here because I knew I might forget the things that started coming through earlier today. But for me, it's been an ongoing process. It's been something that, obviously since I awakened in 2017, there's been this feeling of a dual existence, right? Of starting to anchor the 5D, the higher vibrational energy, your spiritual path, your spiritual mission, while simultaneously trying to exist in a 3D reality. But, it's there's no comparison to who I was back then and to who I am now. There's no comparison to who I was a month ago or a day ago even to who I am now, right? It just feels like the growth and the shifts and the deaths and rebirths have just been so profound that it's like been multiple lifetimes since then. So I guess my point of all of that is the magnitude of, and how far apart we are now in anchoring that higher vibrational energy and trying to exist in 3D reality. It's really, really become noticeable in my world. Just since spring equinox pretty much was when a lot of this stuff started. Um, you may be finding and you hear these things, but it's really starting to happen in ways that I never anticipated, where you have people who have been very important people in your life, people who, um, you know, people who you care very deeply about, and it's just like there's just this switch that flips, and it's like the energy is just not, it's not resonating, and it's not one part or the other, it's just there's like a repelling, there's like it's a non-resonance, right? Because everything is energy, and that's what I'm finding now is you have to you have to go through these experiences, go through life in general now, go through um, your whole flow, right? Everything is not what somebody does or says or why or they did or didn't do this. It's what did the energy dictate? I think sometimes people don't even realize what they're doing or why or what they're saying or the actions they're taking or not. It's more of a resonance or non-resonance, and it's just like, if you look at it as a magnet. um, the example that I'm giving about the non-resonance, it's like when you're on this path and you shift so much and you get into this higher vibration, some of the people in your life that aren't making those leaps, they only know how to resonate with the old self, and that old self is no longer there anymore. And so this newer high vibrational self tries to resonate with the same person who isn't, making the change in the energy and the frequency. It's like tuning in a radio. You can't hear the frequency if you're not in the same vibration. So there's like discord. There's, in some instances, some people may just completely like cut you off and like with no explanation. There's just it's just boom, like there, and when that happens, like you've got to trust if it's a toxic situation or somebody that, you've not been resonating with for a while, you kind of know, like, okay, this is for my highest and greatest good. And sometimes you keep trying and trying. And like, so I think what I'm finding, with this dual existence is the relationships that, were completely toxic or that you weren't that close to these people and maybe they're kind of acquaintances. It's like, whatever, it was not, it's like, fine. It still hurts, or it's like, what the heck, but you just know there's not a resonance anymore. And at some point, maybe there will be. Everybody goes down their different path, and maybe they come back together and meet in the same frequency again, right? They're in the same wavelength, as the saying goes. But in other cases, it's very, very hard because it's someone that you really, like a dear friend, something like that, and your soul is pulling you to go forward. Your soul is pulling you. Your soul is already in the other timeline. Your soul already knows that there's certain patterns and behaviors and ways of being and existing and things that you were doing and lifestyles that weren't healthy for you, and that you can't stay there. You can't stay in that, but it feels safe and it feels like you don't want to let it go. And it's sad because it is like a death. And you want these people to come along with you. And sometimes you can try and you can pull and you can say, let's do this instead. Let's do this. And they just, a lot of times will just turn, it's just, there's not a resonance anymore. And they feel repelled too, because they don't know how to resonate with you anymore. It's not like something you need to take personally, I guess is what I'm saying, on either side. Just know that if there's something that's not coming together the way it should, it can't be forced, right? And I think too, another thing I'm experiencing is where there's, if there's people that you've grown closer to, maybe even unexpectedly these last few months, and then suddenly there's a split, like, or they leave your life. This is maybe because you're at this crossroads where you're like, what the heck? I thought there was a new friendship developing here or something like that. It's because, if you're feeling that, if you understand what I'm saying, where your soul is in one timeline, your 3D reality, you haven't quite been willing to let go of the way things are and the way that, you're kind of clinging on to this current existence, your body, your ego, like you're just not ready to make that shift. Some of those people who are the high vibrational ones that have come in, sometimes maybe they're going to break off and give you the space to figure it out and to make those shifts on your own. I trust that in those situations, right, those people are definitely, if they're of the higher vibration, once you make that shift, those connections are going to continue to move forward. And I also do believe the people who maybe are being left behind, so to speak, or where there's not a resonance at all, and there hasn't been for a while, there absolutely can be shifts and things where the energies come back in alignment again, because everything is about energy. So that's really what I'm finding, and what's been fascinating to me. Not really fascinating, but it's kind of nice to have the perspective. Like this week is a few weeks ago, I want to say it was early April, I injured my back doing a pound workout, leading some songs, because I'm a certified pound teacher. And I didn't, the thing that was strange about it was it's not like I felt myself injure myself. Like I didn't like bend over and I was like, oh, I hurt myself. I just got kind of sore that night, didn't think much of it, but overnight I thought maybe I had kidney stones. Like it was awful pain. Had to take time off from exercise, and it's been a very slow process. I've re-injured it. It's like I thought I was better, and then but what I've noticed this week, I haven't really done anything differently, right? And it's like once I had these kind of realizations and epiphanies of the things that I've been holding on to, and the fact that my body is trying to anchor something that's no longer working, this reality of the life, especially summertime, some of the fun things I used to do, or it's like there's a different reality now for me and things I should be doing and want to be doing. And my soul is like, it's time to be doing this. And my body's trying to hold on to it. So that lower back, that area, that's like the root chakra, the lower chakras. And so once I kind of started accepting and, just being grateful and understanding why, and not being triggered by it, right? Being sad, but giving thanks for it and understanding, yeah, like it's just a resonance thing, and there's nothing you can do to force anyone to be in your life. You're evolving into this being who's connected to everything, and so you're magnetic, and you're either going to pull in people who are on the same vibration, or you're going to repel the ones that aren't there yet. So anyway, once I had that realization, like this week, this is like the first week I've not had, it's like every day it's getting better. It's like I don't even know it's there. So I just find it interesting too, because as a side note, any kind of pain we have, obviously if you have like an accident or you injure yourself, obviously you're going to have pain, right? But if there's residual pain or weird things that come up out of nowhere where you don't know where the pain came from, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be energetic. It's going to be caused by something emotionally that you're holding on to. So that is something that I can help you work through as well. But that's an aside. So that's really, from my standpoint, where we're heading with the summer solstice. We are heading into a time frame where I feel like the energy is going to be really intense, really fast moving, light but intense. And it's like burning away and burning off those layers of things that we're still holding on to, and forcing us to make changes in our lives, even if they're not necessarily comfortable, even if they're not necessarily things that we want to do, if, things we want to let go of, in ways of being. Again, it's living in two worlds, and it's anchoring these two worlds. And it's time, what I'm getting is to make that shift. And that means too, detoxing, taking better care of yourself. And that's one of the things, I'm finding too, is that, not wanting to engage in, lower vibrational behaviors like drinking all the time, or, partying, and just like really just anchoring in the spiritual work. That's going to attract different people into your life. The wellness, working on, my physical fitness and, those types of things. That's what really we're being called to do, is love ourselves and take care of ourselves. And if there are people in our lives that aren't going to support us on that journey, or maybe it's not even that they're not going to support us, it's that they're not supporting themselves at that level, you can't force them to heal themselves. And so you've got to keep moving forward. So that's again where we're headed. Sorry guys, I know I digress and get on tangents a lot, but if you guys have followed me a while, you know that's what I do. So now that we're 15 minutes in, I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards, and we're going to see what else Spirit wants us to know about the time frame between, not only the spring equinox and summer solstice, but kind of like what the overall, like what the themes are, what's coming in. And it may sound strange, but I am going to use my Halloween tarot deck. I thought, well, it's not Halloween we're talking about, although this is the energy that's going to usher us into the fall, right? Whatever happens now is going to kind of set the stage for what's happening later in the year. But this deck itself, by the way, I do have a walkthrough video recorded if you guys want to check this out for the whole deck. But the overall energy of this deck for me is, a lot of it is about burning away yourself. It's about death and rebirth. It's about cutting away things, and there are some healing there, the swords cards especially. So there's some ugly, I don't want to say ugly, but just dark things, right? It's hard. This journey is hard, but it's also beautiful. So without further ado, we're going to see what Spirit wants us to know about this time frame. Okay, summer solstice. Wow. Oh my God, you guys. You guys saw me shuffle, right? I swear. You can't make this stuff up. You can't. I say that all the time. That's my saying, but wow. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Wow. I'm not surprised to see some of these cards, but yet I am, because it's amazing when stuff like this works out, where you're talking about something and then it's just like, yeah, they confirm. So what we've got for the past energy, for the past couple weeks, past couple months, is the High Priestess. And by the way, we do have several major arcana that came out, which those typically tend to be more like stronger energy and more, I don't know, they're just more powerful, more potent, and more destined type things. So the High Priestess, this is a card about your intuition, your higher knowing. This is like what I feel like what a lot of us are having happen. And it's almost like she's grieving. She's almost like in this death, like widowed kind of vibe, right? And she's looking and holding out her hands and seeing like the mist, like she's seeing the future and knows that the future doesn't necessarily include, well, it doesn't include the past, and the past is in the past. And to move forward, there are things she's going to have to let go of. There are moves and changes and things that aren't easy, but it's like your higher knowing and your intuition. It's like many of us have known and sensed. I feel like every day it's changing, but I feel like my intuition and insight and just knowing of things is just like the tapping in, right, of the collective energy, and just feeling like, okay, this is why this is happening, or this is why this person's doing this. And it's not about you. It's never about you. It's about either them, like, and what they're going through, or it's about the higher purpose, the High Priestess, it's like the divine, what I'm getting is like the divine plan of why things are happening. It's like for the high road, like your highest and greatest good is the high road. Somebody may be taking the high road by exiting your life, even if it's not something you want. So just keep that in mind. So what we have for the current energy is we have a like conflict, competition, and crossroads. I mean, you guys, you can't make it up. Like, where I was saying we're living in two worlds. The Five of Wands is the conflict and competition card. It's like you've got these people, lighting their candles, and like they're all like, it's like a contest, and some of this can be in your head, right? But I feel like this could be people, just all these people showing up to the table, and like, what are they bringing to the table? And if what they're bringing isn't resonating with you anymore, if what they're bringing is dragging you down, if what they're bringing is unhealthy, toxic patterns and cycles that you keep repeating because they're in your life, it's time to get up from the table, right? And move forward. And the Two of Swords is the crossroads. It's like you're at a stalemate. You don't know which way you're going to go. And it's like you've hit this wall and you've got to go one way or the other. And the shadows here, I think that's very interesting because, the lower vibrational energies, like they bring out, the shadow. They bring out, the addictions, the things that are not in our highest and greatest good. And I feel like that's what the current energy is, and what we're saying is that needs to die, and it needs to be transformed. And so therefore the current energy right now is death. I mean, that's why I laughed. I was like, are you kidding me right now? Because I was just saying we've got to break free of these chains, these constraints, these things that are holding us back, and move to the next level. Our soul's already there, right? I almost feel like this is our, like, I know this is like a creepy, scary, like the Grim Reaper guy, but what I said, about creating this card is that it's about divine intervention. It's about a rebirth. Look at that balanced energy coming in, that pink and that blue. It's like that jolt you need. And sometimes, if we're not willing, like if during the eclipse season, we did have the eclipse season during the spring equinox, that is often a time where we do start having those realizations and epiphanies, or people start exiting our lives, or we start making those changes, right? But in some cases we hold on and we resist. And so I feel like in the summer season, and I heard 7-7, that there's going to be some kind, like things that aren't in alignment with your path. It's like, they're going to be cut away. And that's not to like put fear or anything. It's just, sometimes it's just opportunities arise where there's a way that, it's like a situation arises and it's like you cannot avoid something anymore, and it's got to be said, right? Or someone comes to you, or someone does just finally exit your life because, if you don't take that action first. But that's definitely the energy I'm getting. And as far as like where we want to go, it's interesting because we've got as the goal kind of energy the King of Pentacles, and this is really, really crazy, guys, because the past is we had this High Priestess, and she's kind of looking in her hands, and she's looking a little bit sad, a little bit like grieving of like, and there's like everything's like slipping through her fingers. This guy, he looks confident. He looks like nothing's phasing him, and he's got everything he wants in the palm of his hand. He's manifested it. He's brought it in. He's not focused on what he knows needs to go. He's focused on what he has and where he's going. Now, that being said, it's not an easy process. It can be heartbreaking at times. And so, for fair warning, this is a very graphic card that I'm about to show. But the Three of Swords is the action forward. This is somebody's heart who's literally been ripped out. So, somebody, you may have recently had somebody, exit your life, and it was really, really painful for you. But that had to happen for you to move to the next level, to move into this next phase, to get either that lesson, that learning, that growth, that trigger, something that needed to come out for healing, or that person just wasn't, again, it wasn't the right resonance right now. It doesn't mean that it isn't going to be, but it just right now isn't, and that's why this death and rebirth is happening. But it also could mean you need to take the action. Your action forward could rip someone's heart out, and it's a very hard thing to do. But I think if some of you, the energy is guiding you to close out a chapter that maybe you're holding on to for nostalgia purposes, something that like is at a stalemate, something that is causing you conflict, no matter how painful it is, you know, you've got to have the confidence to take that path forward. And I'm getting that, you know, that we will be given. I'm getting specifically July. We've got King of Wands here. Wands energy to me is associated with fire, which would be associated with like this, like July, especially for whatever reason that's coming through. This is like they might be like grieving still, like he's kind of got this shroud and this hood on, but he's got his wand and he's going forward with confidence. And he might not know the path ahead. It's dark, it's scary, but he knows that's the way he needs to go. He's forging ahead, right? He's forging ahead. And what comes after that, right? Of course, some healing. We don't have the Four of Swords card present, but after the Three of Swords comes out, you need to, you know, go into a time of healing and reflection. But presumably, you know, he's on this path alone, and there's some darkness, like, but there's light, and he's finding his way, and he's knowing that that's the right way to go. And what we have coming is much more gentle, much more beautiful energy after that. We've got the Maiden of Cups, which is the Knight of Cups. But you can just see that this is just an innocence. This is pure, whatever this is, right? It's an offer that is a loving offer. It's gentle. It's something that, it's like, you know, you get to the end of this path and you see, someone, you know, who is offering you something that's blossoming, something that is has the potential to grow, right? Maid of Cups specifically is about a love offer, but to me it could just be about self-love. It makes you feel good about yourself. It's you're choosing to love yourself. You're choosing to show up for yourself. You're choosing the path that doesn't bring you heartbreak. You're choosing the path that makes all your dreams come true. You're choosing the path where you're supported and you have teamwork, right? We have the Three of Pentacles here, and note, you know, this is a family, and they're doing the Halloween decorating together. But the Three of Pentacles is about teamwork, and it is about you know, give and take and showing up. And to me, Three of Pentacles is having everything you want kind of in balance. It's having your masculine energy, your feminine energy in balance, and your soul. And like all of it is in alignment, it's in balance. And when you have that, you can create and manifest anything you want. You're in alignment, right? And so the outcome is the Empress, which is so beautiful, right? This is the pregnancy card. So for some of you, that could be a relevant message. But what I'm getting, not really as far as, unless that's something you're wanting, I'm getting this is more the vibe of, right, bringing in everything you want, right? You've got this masculine energy, the King of Pentacles, anchoring everything in the 3D, you know, the abundance, the knowing like where he's headed, knowing what he's doing is like everything is in the palm of his hands. And then the feminine energy, the ultimate feminine energy here, she's like creative and she's birthing a new existence. And that's what I'm getting, is that we are going to be birthing a new existence. And that unfortunately at times means people fall out of our lives, you know, whether we want that to happen or not. And again, it doesn't mean that they can't be in our lives eventually. Again, it's just at this point in time, we're being asked to maybe take some painful actions at a crossroads that we don't want to take, but without knowing the path forward, but knowing that there is the light at the end of the tunnel, and there's very, very gentle, calm energy ahead, but there is this kind of heaviness, you know, this conflict about it, this sadness and this death, and that has to occur before the rebirth and the new life can come in. What's really crazy, guys, is okay, there it is. What's really crazy is the card that was next was the Fool, which is the complete, like the new beginning, the surrender, the letting go and burning away. Wasn't I just saying that earlier? Of the things that no longer serve. Well, the Four of Swords was right after it. That's the healing card, right? So we can embrace a new beginning. We can take that leap. We can, you know, have passion for the things and pursuing the things we want, and still grieve the past and heal from the past. It's okay to pursue your happiness. It's okay to feel happy, to feel joy, and embrace a new start, even if there are things that are very difficult as far as transitioning into your new life. So I hope that part was helpful for you guys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a just a quick, actually, so I've got the romance angels here. I'm just going to pull just a romance forecast, general, just to see what messages come through. Again, it's for, the collective, so take what resonates and toss the rest. Okay, so we've got you deserve love. You are lovable. So this message to me resonates no matter whether you're in a relationship or you're single, okay? If you're in a relationship and it's not fulfilling you, if you are unhappy, if somebody is not giving you their time, their attention, or God forbid, they're emotionally abusive to you, they're draining you, this is, you're lovable, you deserve love, and you deserve to have that. And if that person isn't giving that to you, you need to, this may have been a message for you as far as taking that step forward to, to start fresh and to focus on loving yourself. If you're single, some of you may have been like afraid to get in a relationship, afraid to commit because of worthiness issues. And this is just showing that, like, you kind of, I'm getting like with the cute, like you're the Cupid here, like you've done, I feel like, you've done a lot of work on yourself, but there's like this doubt and this question, because if you've been single a long time, presumably, at least in my case, like I did a lot of work, and the more time that you get, used to spending time alone, the more that, you love yourself, and the more that you're healthier, and you know how to set boundaries, and you are preparing yourself for a healthy relationship, whether you realize it or not. And I feel like for those of you who are single now, and you have been for some time, that this is like you've got all this like momentum built up, and it's like, where do you want to point your arrow? Because you're ready. You may feel like you're never ready because it's scary, and you've maybe not had a healthy relationship before, or a deep conscious relationship, but it's there. You've done the work. You just have to believe that you're worthy of it, right? And maybe if you have a lot of suitors, it's like not choosing somebody just because they're there's an attraction. It's, you deserve like a great love, right? A deep conscious relationship. And so I would say, don't settle for something less. But I'm seeing like, I think affirmations might help you. And I feel like this, like, it's I'm just getting this energy of like, this is about to like be shot out, right? Maybe by Lionsgate time frame. Well, it says very soon. We got the very soon card. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So that's part of it too. As I was saying, maybe part of this is manifesting the ideal partner. Like, have you actually sat down and thought about who your ideal partner is? Not necessarily even a specific person, but qualities of a person. Maybe write that person a letter, right? Like it's your 1-year anniversary with this person. Like, what would you say to them? Like, I'm so grateful that I'm so grateful that you do this. I'm so grateful that we have this. And as if it's happened, right? And then keep it in a safe place. Maybe put it on your altar under some crystals, something like that. That's part of it, is putting it out there as if it's something you already have in your life versus something that you hope and wish for. And here we have honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So I feel like for, some of you who are single, maybe by Labor Day, there could be a shift in that. And then I think for those of you who are in a relationship, this could be even July 4th, but I'm getting for the ones that it's like further out, it's coming down the road, maybe by Labor Day. But for those in a relationship, perhaps going somewhere together, even if it's just a local, driving, just going hiking somewhere or doing an overnight trip, somewhere in the area, or just visiting a different restaurant or somewhere around that you've not been before. A holiday time or just spending quality time together can definitely make a difference. And for what it's worth, we also have, okay, there's a couple of things here. I feel like these messages need to come out. We have flirt, extend your lighthearted energy to others. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there, especially if you're kind of shy and you're not one to flirt. You may need to, you know, get yourself, like, again, it's just like hiding behind this shield, right? Maybe get yourself out there and flirt a little bit, because somebody isn't going to maybe find you, you know, sitting at home, you know, on your couch, or if you're just like going to the same places all the time, you may need to just be a little more assertive or get yourself out there. But tying back to the you deserve love, it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. It is safe for you to love. So if some of you have been on the fence about that, about whether you're ready, I'm getting that this summer definitely there's potential for that. Okay, so let's, next I'm going to look at career and finances, just to kind of see what's going on in that. So we're going to use the Treasure Trove Tarot by Mystic Moon Oracles, and we're going to see what they want us to know there. Wow. Okay. So what I'm getting for some of you are, you know, very, very frustrated, overworked. I mean, who's not, right? In most cases. But I think some of you who haven't made that shift yet out of an unfulfilling career, a career that's draining you, you know, it's like things are really starting to heat up maybe this summer. Things that, you know, where your values and your integrity aren't, you know, being met, fulfilled, I should say. There may be an opportunity for some training that you can take to learn a new skill. And I'll just show you guys what I've got, the Hierophant here. And in this deck, it talks about values, integrity, vocational training, also financial advisors. So if some of you maybe have started a new career, you maybe, you know, need to roll over your 401k or get some financial advice. That is something that's definitely coming through, but there's some about consulting with somebody to help you on the next phase. And also, like I said, maybe to get some training to help you get out of this dumpster fire of a job. This Four of Swords, this is like something you need to heal from. It's like stress, frustration, like you need to take a time out. So I would say take, if you can, around the July 4th holiday, maybe take an extra long weekend, maybe use that time, obviously, to get some R&R, but also to look into some training, some options, and you know, some other careers, because the Ace of Cups is here. Revitalized, lucky break, fulfilling position. I feel like there's something out here that could come in pretty quickly. I'm getting like by August. And even, well, if you apply like during Cancer season, because we've got like the water here, the Ace of Cups is the water energy. And Cancer season is coming up here in a couple weeks. Revitalize, lucky break, like there's something here for you. I just feel like you're so consumed with the stress at work that, and you can't get your head out of, you know, above water. You need to look into some other opportunities. And again, this could go out, you know, what I was just saying about on the romance side, about writing the letter to your spouse. I mean, you could write a letter to yourself from a year from now, or just write down, you know, gosh, I'm so grateful for this new job that I found. It is the best job. I'm making X money. I have these hours. I have work-life balance. I have the best coworkers. You know, put those things down as if you have them already. And then you may be surprised how things line up for you. I'm also going to pull, just because I love this little deck of Mystic Moons, it's the Winds of Fortune. And I think this one is kind of in general. There are some career finance cards in here, but there's also just some general messages too. So let's just see what the winds of the summer solstice are bringing in for us. What needs to go? Let's see what's coming. Wow, guys. All right, this isn't playing around. Okay. So we got the Joker. pushing too far, unrealistic, hasty carelessness. We've also got the 10 of Spades, dark night of the soul, wolf in sheep's clothing, let down, closing act. Clouded judgment is the 3 of Spades. Entanglements, flaky people, unrequited love. Okay, so what I'm getting here, the winds of change, right? I said, or the winds of fortune, I said, what is coming in or what needs to go. So with this, I'm getting like, this is what needs to exit your life. Okay, this is what we're being pushed to completely eradicate from our existence this summer, right? Anybody who is not respecting your boundaries, that's like a joker. Somebody who isn't, like, you're just like, what planet are these people from, right? Like, if somebody is just acting crazy or just doing things that completely is so out of resonance with reality or your life, and you're like, what are they doing? You know, if you find yourself asking yourself, like, is this person crazy? Like, what the hell? You know, they're pushing you too far. They're not respecting boundaries. You know, or there could be people that, you know, with the wolf in sheep's clothing, people who maybe you shouldn't trust. Maybe you have this inclination, this feeling that like somebody isn't being honest with you, somebody who isn't like their authentic self, and they're, you know, going to let you down. It's like closing act, that's going to go. It may cause a dark night of the soul though, especially, you know, if you're in an unhealthy relationship, if you're in a marriage, you know, and you have to uproot your existence, or if you have to quit a job. I mean, I know I did that last year, and it's very, very devastating to upset that foundation. But if something is not balanced, and if it's draining you, and if it's, again, like testing your boundaries, and it's just bringing you nothing but sadness, this is something that needs to be left behind. It should have been left behind in the eclipse season, most likely. So there could be some sort of an event, or something that's kind of like the final straw that happens. And I'm getting like maybe by July, that there's a shift that has to be made, and it's not easy. But again, that's the nature of the energy that we're dealing with. So what I'm going to do now, guys, I feel like I want to end on a little bit lighter note than that. So I'm going to pull from the Starry Beginnings, because I love this, because it's like cosmic alignment with the things that, you know, are meant, the people and the situations and the things that are meant to be on our path. They find a way to us, and they gravitate to us. And again, there are things that come back around, and things that fall into alignment when they're supposed to, and there are things that fall away when they're supposed to, right? And we just have to start trusting the process, even if it's painful, and following that soul. Because I'm telling you, when the soul's in control, and when you get to the point where you have been in this flow, and you're in resistance, and you're trying to force things or stay or not follow where your soul's leading you, you know, it really does start to take a toll on you, physically, emotionally. Oh, that's so cool, guys. Did you see the rainbow there? All right, so we're going to see what Starry Beginning message we have for summer solstice. Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh, guys, I just got chills. Okay. All right. Past life emotion lives in you. You are expressing more, it is releasing. So that's exactly what I was just saying about how when we hold on to these emotions, when we hold on to things from the past, right, it does start to build within us. Like I was saying with that injury, right? The pain often, you know, when we hold on to our emotions and we don't release things, sometimes it does manifest itself as a physical ailment. So this is just confirmation. Past life emotion lives in you. So if you have been more emotional lately too, especially these last couple months with the eclipses, just know that could be why. We do have a full moon coming up in Sagittarius as well. I feel like that's going to be, I probably will do at least a post if I don't, you know, I may not do an actual like full video here on YouTube, but follow me on Instagram, Divine Love 1130. I often do full and new moon energy updates, just little graphics that describe what's going on energy-wise. But I feel like this one is going to help us burn away and cut away You know, Sag energy is very, it can be very flaky, but it can also be very just like, whatever. It can be very brash. And I feel like some of those instances are going to be like the truth. Like, you're going to feel this, like, yeah, I need to express that things are no longer working for me, or the situation, you know, is something that isn't going to go forward. These things are starting to come up, and if they haven't, they will be. And just know that sometimes it could even be, you know, emotions from childhood, or emotions from, you know, a prior relationship ending that trigger you, okay, or that come out, and that's perfectly normal. And you need to sit with them and work with them. I highly recommend Apache Tears, working with those crystals for grief processing. They are just a wonderful tool to have. But what they're saying is, yeah, these things are coming up, and it's very painful, and, you know, you're expressing it more, it's releasing, but it's safe to let go. It's safe to let go. I mean, how beautiful. That's why I got the chills. You are surrounded by love. It's safe to let go. Look at this light. Once we let go of these things that we try to hold on to, we try to force, the light, you know, we're drawn, our soul is pointing us towards this. And if others don't want to join us on the path, we need to let them fall away, right? And if they do want to join us on the path, if they're meant to, they will join us eventually, right? You can't force it. It all just ebbs and flows, and you need to trust that everything is happening as it should, right? And not fight the urge to do what your intuition and your soul is telling you needs to happen. I also love this one. Be, feel, receive abundance. All that you desire is achievable. All that you desire is achievable, but you may need to spend time on you first, right? A lot of people don't want to hear that. To balance yourself, to balance your energies, to bring these things in. So there may be a healing period, once, you know, if you've recently went through an ending of something, or you're going to be, there may be some healing time this summer for you to work through these issues. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Again, if you would like to book a session to look into your specific situation, that information's down below. Till next time, take care.